What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here. In this video, you're going to see a nice like 2 sets of 5 battles here where I actually go 10-0, and I actually continued this win streak all the way up to 13 wins in a row, which I was very satisfied with. I'm using my Dewgong again. You've seen it in a lot of videos. I really enjoy running this thing. Alolan Marowak and Registeel. So let's just kind of go over some of these battles. I was having a really hot win streak with this, so it was very exciting. I have my Registeel against the Altaria right now, which is a very favorable matchup for me. The thing with this matchup, though, is that those Dragon Breaths still really add up. It's not the charge moves you have to worry about with Altaria. It's just that raw Dragon Breath damage, at least in this matchup. But I want to exit this matchup up a shield, so I'm not committing any shields here. They commit their second shield. I'm totally fine with that. I'm just going to let this go through. Sky Attack still isn't enough to take me out, but then one more Dragon Breath does the deal. Dewgong is going to be able to come out. I could have possibly committed to a fast move farm down there, but I didn't want to get too greedy. So many of my mistakes come from me being too greedy with my farm downs and not using my shields. I do need to shield up that Meteor Mash. Now I'm going to bring in my Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak does resist the charm damage. You're going to resist the Meteor Mash damage because of the fire and ghost typing that Alolan Marowak has. Bone Club is not enough to take out the Clefable, and unfortunately I'm going to have to eat this charge move here. So I will commit this shield. Even though Meteor Mash would be resisted, it would still really hurt. What is in the back? It is an Escavalier. Holy cow, this is a very great matchup for me because Escavalier is double weak to fire. So my Fire Spin is really doing a lot of damage, and Shadow Ball is able to one-shot that. Both Registeel and Alolan Marowak in the closing scenario are really great because all their charge moves are, they have a lot of nuke potential. So this is actually not the best matchup for me. That's a Razor Leaf Blossom. I need to get out of there. I've been kind of using my Alolan Marowak as my safe switch in here because with an energy advantage, it's really great. You can rip off those Shadow Balls. I get the shield on the Dragonair right now. This Aqua Tail is really going to hurt. I'm actually going to let it go through. And I'm going to get farmed down with Dragon Breath. I know that they still have the Blossom in the back, which my Registeel can handle. And my Dewgong is actually going to be able to chunk away at this Dragonair. Because this is not an Altaria with the Dragon and Flying type, my Ice Shards are only doing super effective damage and not double super effective. So I thought I could be a little bit more cool there with my farm down, but it was not working out. That Dragon Breath was chunking down way too much. Try to make a quick swap into my Registeel there, but pretty clunky. Now that I'm up in energy advantage right here, I'm just going to go straight for the Focus Blast. They're either going to have to commit their last shield. They let it go through. So this is very positive for me. I have 2 shields, so might as well start using them here. Going to go for the Flash Cannon here to save a little bit of energy, and their Registeel is in Flash Cannon range. I get the last shield there. Even if this is a bait, I'm still going to shield this up because I know that Registeel can tank all of the charge moves that Blossom will throw at me. I even commit to the lock-on farm down here. Getting very greedy. Going to be able to throw the Flash Cannon on this Blossom. Is this enough to take it out? Not enough. Blossom is surprisingly tanky. Registeel has a pretty crappy attack stat. The Regis are not known for their attack. It's definitely because of their bulk. And then they leave the match there, but I was going to take it anyway. So good games. Going up against Fishing Jesus. That's a cool name. So this is actually kind of a neutral matchup for my Dewgong. If this person plays it out correctly, they should go for the charge move right away because Skarmory will win the CMP tie against Dewgong. But because they did not go for the charge move right away, this is less favorable for them because now all their charge moves are going to have the 1-stage attack debuff. I'm still going to shield up their first charge move anyways because it looked like they were charging up to a Flash Cannon there. But I'm going to let this second charge move go through. So it's a double Sky Attack. In that scenario, if you are in the Skarmory situation, you need to get your charge attacks off as quickly as possible, because the longer you stay in this matchup against Dewgong, the less favorable it is for you. That's why I really like Dewgong. Even in your worst matchups, at bare minimum, you're going to drop their attack, which is really great. Out comes Heatmore. I could have possibly committed to going for the Water Pulse and doing a lot of damage or drawing the shield, but I actually draw the shield on the Icy Wind anyway, so this is very favorable for me. Up a shield. This Heatmore is running Fire Spin. It also could have Lick as a fast move, but I'm assuming Power Up Punch or Flamethrower here. So only Power Up Punch, definitely don't need to shield that up. I'm resisting these attacks, so yep, there's the switch out into a Jolteon. This Bone Club is going to hit for super effective. I don't think it's going to be enough to KO. Farm up even a little bit more energy. Going to bring in the Registeel to farm this thing down most likely. I eat a Thunderbolt, which does a lot of damage. Jolteon is pretty glassy, especially in Great League. I'm actually totally going to eat this and let my Registeel go down. Going to bring in my Alolan Marowak. Going to Fire Spin this thing down. And then I will be able to get off this charge move here. And I'm up a shield. So just going straight Shadow Ball. This should take out the Heatmore. Very interesting team. Heatmore is a very interesting pick. It could also learn, yeah, Lick is the fast move. So you'd be doing super effective damage to like Defense Deoxys and the other ghost types, which could be pretty cool. Next round here. If this Umbrea, or if this Vaporeon is carrying Last Resort, this is going to be kind of rough for me. But because they got to this charge move right away, I'm assuming this is going to be the Aqua Tail. Yep. And I actually haven't simmed this matchup, but I'm just assuming from my pure bulk with Dewgong that I'm going to be able to win out this matchup. Their Water Gun damage is doing more damage than my Ice Shard damage is doing to them. But again, all of these Icy Wind debuffs are really going to add up, and so I think I'm going to be able to come out of here okay. Going for another Icy Wind here. No shield still. But their attack is debuffed again, and I am now winning the race in damage, I believe, here. Might even be able to leave this scenario with some stored up energy. So I kind of realized that they're doing hardly any damage there. I don't want to eat another Aqua Tail though, so I will throw the Icy Wind here. I don't get a shield, but I should have just enough energy to throw on this Toxicroak. Very surprised they didn't bring the Toxicroak in right away, but they still haven't used any of their shields, which is very interesting to me. Gonna bring out the Marowak. Their attack has been debuffed. However, the Mud Bomb is still gonna hurt. So I will commit it's a Sludge Bomb. Mud Bomb is definitely the way you want to go here. It's going to hit me for super effective damage, and they possibly could have gotten off 2 Mud Bombs there. It's a Mew in the back. I'm actually just going to go straight Shadow Ball here, and maybe even commit my shield, go for a second Shadow Ball. They finally start committing shields. I actually switch into Registeel right off the bat. This is a Shadow Claw Mew, so they're going to do a lot of damage to my Alolan Marowak. I get the second shield with the Flash Cannon, and now I know I'm pretty close to a Shadow Ball on my Alolan Marowak in the back, so I should be able to one-shot this Mew. I was anticipating them trying to go for a bait there, so I didn't shield. And it was only a Psyshock. They're going for another Psyshock. Maybe they only have one move on their Mew. And then at that point, they realized that the match was over, so they left. Good game. Going up against Hoon 6293. Dewgong lead against the Alolan Marowak. So I'm going to be taking neutral damage from the Fire Spin, and the Alolan Marowak is taking resisted damage from the Ice Shard. However, if I can land this Water Pulse, it's going to hit for super effective damage. Water Pulse is a pretty crappy move, though, unfortunately. If Dewgong learned Surf, I would use this thing nonstop because it would just be so amazing. Surf is a much better move, energy and damage-wise. Water Pulse really sucks. It's unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure Dewgong would be pretty OP if it also had a good water move. So I'm down a shield. They were able to land the Shadow Ball. I get the Icy Wind off, so at least I win the lead scenario. Out comes a Azumarill. It's going to barely not be able to farm me down, which is really fortunate for me. I'm able to get this Icy Wind debuff off. Definitely cannot bring in a Alolan Marowak on this thing. If this is a Hydro Pump Azumarill, it's going to have a more favorable matchup against my Registeel. But regardless of what this is going to be, I'm not going to shield up this first thing. It is a Hydro Pump, but with that attack debuff, you can see how much less damage it did. Over farming here just a little bit. I was expecting them to switch out, but they're staying in this. I get a shield there. I know I'm going to eat another Hydro Pump, so I'm going to throw another Flash Cannon here, put on a lot of pressure onto this Azumarill. They don't shield that. I'm barely not in range of being KO'd by a Hydro Pump, but I'm still going to shield this up. And in the back is Registeel, so Alolan Marowak is the most solid wall to Registeel. Pretty sure in all shielding scenarios, Alolan Marowak takes this because you resist everything that Registeel throws at you, and you can hit back with super effective damage with your Mud Bombs, or you can just nuke it with Shadow Ball, and you're hitting it with super effective Fire Spins the whole time. It's just an amazing scenario for Alolan Marowak. These Flash Cannons are really not doing nothing. Able to farm that thing down and drop a Shadow Ball on this Azumarill. This is really good for me. I still have a somewhat healthy Registeel in the back. I tried to switch before I got fainted there, but I'm barely able to get to this Flash Cannon before the Azumarill is able to get to the Hydro Pump, and because the Azumarill cleared its attack debuff, that actually would have KO'd me there. Very close match, good game. Going into another round here. Dewgong against Clefable. I don't really like this in the lead because these charms do so much damage when I'm not able to get that Icy Wind off. So I actually swap in my Registeel here, and they have a Machamp, so this is really bad. However, Machamp is very glassy, and I'm actually thrilled that this Machamp is not lined up with my Dewgong now. I'm actually able to get to a second Flash Cannon, so it looks like they're fully committing to the farm down on my Registeel. I get the second shield. They're going to totally farm me down. This Machamp is most likely carrying Cross Chop and Rock Slide, which is going to be hitting my my Alolan Marowak for super effective with the Rock Slide. So I actually bring in the Dewgong here to get the attack debuff off first. And I thought my switch clock was going to be up in time and I could make a super fancy swap. But instead, I'm going to pull the shield there. And I'm really hoping this is a cross chop. I'm hoping that they stacked back-to-back cross chops. My Alolan Marowak was able to catch that cross chop. All of that energy that they farmed with their Machamp somewhat went to waste there because they dumped 35 energy worth that cross chop into my Alolan Marowak. So good play for me. Skarmory in the back. This is very favorable for me. Just going to go straight Shadow Ball here because shields are down. Does a good amount of damage. These Fire Spins are hitting for super effective. The Sky Attack shouldn't be enough to take out Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak is decently bulky. And I just commit to Fire Spinning that thing down. And then I'm going to dump a Shadow Ball onto this Clefable in the back. I still have my Dewgong. This is most likely going to be a Meteor Mash hitting me for neutral damage. Barely doesn't knock me out, and one Ice Shard goes through and takes that match. That was crazy close. Good game. Going up against Gekaricitio, something like that. Interesting lead. Not the best for me because Jirachi is going to be resisting those Ice-type moves. So I'm very surprised that the Jirachi is staying in here right now. I don't need to shield up this Doom Desire because it is resisted, and I'm just going straight for the Bone Club because this is going to be hitting Jirachi for super effective. They don't shield this up. Very interesting that they're staying in here. I'm able to farm down the Jirachi, which now my Dewgong is a lot safer with that thing off the field. They bring out Empoleon. I'm just going straight Shadow Ball here. And this is actually going to be kind of... Oh, they let it go through. That was like... That's probably what allowed me to win this. Because Empoleon actually has decent matchups against my Dewgong and my Registeel. The Waterfall damage and the Hydro Cannon damage against my Registeel is no joke. Like, I've been in that matchup before, and Empoleon does very well. I'm very curious as to why they did not commit any shields there. But that definitely allowed me to win the game. They have Claydol in the back, so I'm going to be hitting for super effective damage with these Icy Winds. Now they're using their shields, so I guess they had a lot of faith in their Claydol here. Give the Claydol 2 shields. They don't shield that one. But honestly, my Dewgong is just going to be able to take out this Claydol. Man, I've been getting so much lag in Go Battle League since Season 1 dropped. Let me know if you guys have been getting some lag as well. Like, I didn't have that bad of an experience in the preseason, but man, now that Season 1 is here, I've been seriously getting some nasty, nasty lag, which definitely has cost me some games, unfortunately. But good game there, going into another game here. Dewgong lead against Hitmonchan. Oh, this is so rough when someone leads a counter user into my team, because the only answer I have to a counter user is my Alola Marowak. They bring in Wigglytuff, which in theory is not a counter to Alolan Marowak, but if you've done the Sylph Cups, you have played this matchup out a lot. The Alolan Marowak cannot go for the Shadow Ball nuke here because Wigglytuff has immunity tier resistance to ghost type moves because of its normal and fairy, because of its normal typing there. So I just have to chip away at the Bone Club. They do commit both shields on their Wigglytuff, and that mistake is what is most likely going to win me the match here. And they go for Ice Beam instead of Play Rough. Going to bring in my Registeel for a very aggressive farm down here. Nothing Wigglytuff throws at me is going to hit me for even neutral damage. Going to resist everything. There's the Ice Beam. Maybe they only have Ice Beam on their Wigglytuff, but I have a very loaded Registeel, 2 shields. They still have the Hitmonchan. Oh, it's Umbreon. Okay, so I'm going to go straight for the Focus Blast, and then I'm going to actually stay in here, farm up some more energy. I might as well start using these 2 shields that I have because it's the counter damage from the Hitmonchan that's really going to mess with me. I load up my Registeel with energy, and then I put it in the back because I need to be able to land a charge move on that Hitmonchan. Very surprised that they're staying in here. If they would have swapped in that Hitmonchan right away, they would have been able to put more pressure on my Dewgong, but now I have all this energy. I'm going to be able to dump this Icy Wind on the Hitmonchan. And I lose the CMP there, but it's okay. Gonna shield this up, and I still have a loaded Registeel in the back, so very favorable matchup for me. It was just a power-up punch. Good play, but this Icy Wind should be enough to take out the Hitmonchan. Good game there. Going up against Tama TI, something like that. Dewgong against Skarmory, we've seen this before. They are running Steel Wing on their Skarmory, though, which I definitely think Air Slash is the way to go in pretty much all scenarios. Steel Wing is going to give you a little bit more damage, but way worse energy generation, so I just really don't think that it's worth it. I'm going to let this Sky Attack go through. Because I was able to get my Icy Wind debuff off before they were able to throw that Sky Attack, so it was a more favorable scenario for me. Go for this Icy Wind again, and I might even be able to fast move farm down this Skarmory. Yeah, because that Steel Wing just, man, made that matchup a lot worse for the Skarmory. Out comes Whiscash. This is very problematic for my line in the back. Both Alola Marowak and Registeel are going to be weak to this. So I believe I'm actually going to commit some shields to this matchup right here and try to get a double attack debuff off on this Whiscash, or really start chipping it down, because my backline is really going to struggle against this. I need to get some shields off of the Whiscash and get its attack dropped. So really good for me. This Whiscash now has to commit to dumping the Mud Bomb into my Dewgong. At this point, I'm going to let it go. This Whiscash has been double debuffed on its attack. Going to bring out my Alola Marowak. I know I'm going to eat some Mud Bombs, but we're going to have to see how much damage this does. No shield here. Does a lot less than it would have. And they have their own Alola Marowak, so this is really bad because now Registeel is going to totally suck against this Alola Marowak. I have to stay in here, and I have to land this Shadow Ball. This is going to be a very close finish to this game. Thank goodness they did not bait me there. But even if they did, I still think I would have been able to get to the Shadow Ball. So you see me overcharge there just a little bit. They're going to bring out their Whiscash again, but they have to throw the Mud Bomb onto my Alola Marowak because I was about to get to my own Bone Club there. Mud Bomb takes me out. The Whiscash had its attacks cleared. The attack debuffs cleared. I'm going to eat a Mud Bomb here, but I should be able to get to this Flash Cannon before the Whiscash can get to another Mud Bomb. able to do it, and this flash cannon should take out the Whiscash even though it's resisted damage. Good game there. Let me know if you guys like these Go Battle League battles, man. It's been fun to make, but I'm definitely trying hard to climb up the ranks. Probably once I get rank 10 again, I'll use some more fun off-meta teams. But I'm rolling with teams that I'm a little bit more comfortable with just so I can try to get a decent win-loss ratio up there. So don't criticize me too much for using the same stuff all the time. I'm hopefully able to catch a play rough on this Registeel, able to do it, so really favorable for me that Azumarill just wasted all of its energy, and its attack is debuffed. I know they have Altaria in the back. So this is going to be the play rough. They're running Ice Beam and play rough then, because Hydro Pump is definitely the way to go. It's very difficult to discern what moveset you should run on your Azumarill. If you need more coverage against grass, keep the Ice Beam. I think you should always have Hydro Pump though, just because of how many Registeels there are. If you don't have a lot of Azumarill coverage on your team, make sure you have Play Rough on your Azumarill for the mirror match that you'll be stuck in. I'm able to bring my Dewgong out onto this Altaria and fast move it down. Out comes that Azumarill again. I know that they're running Play Rough, so I need to get this Icy Wind debuff off as quickly as possible. No shield. Able to get a second Icy Wind debuff. Really good for me. These Play Roughs are going to hardly be doing anything to my Dewgong now. I still have 2 shields, but I'm not going to commit a shield here. I'm going to let that go through. And then I'm hoping that my Alolan Marowak will be able to do some work here. I have 2 shields for both my Alolan Marowak and my Registeel, but I catch another Play Rough on my Registeel. I even commit to lock-on farming down this Azumarill, so I still got all 3 Pokemon, 2 shields. They have their own Registeel in the back. Ah, man. I really hope I get a shield here. I don't get a shield. Great call on the bluff there. So I'm going for another flash cannon. Can I get a shield on this one? That'd be amazing. No shield. That is all right. At this point, I think I was going to try to be a little cheeky and try to win this matchup without using any shields. Because we know Alolan Marowak is so favorable against this. I even try a sacrificial swap on the Dewgong, but it's kind of a fail. Like, they had to dump their energy on this Dewgong anyways. Otherwise, it would have been debuffed. So I think I do win this matchup with 2 shields. Good game there. Let me know if you guys enjoy this content. If you want to support the channel and be on my friends list and train with me, head on over to my Patreon. The link will be down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as I grind my way up to rank 10. I'll see you in the next video.